Hey, welcome back to the Natural English Podcast. This is Alex here. And, as always, I am sitting here with Sarah.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be in your ears again, wherever you are listening from.
Yeah, and I am actually really curious. Are you listening while you are doing something at home right now? Maybe you are washing dishes. Maybe you are folding laundry. Or maybe you are just lying on the sofa, avoiding your chores.
If you are avoiding your chores, it is okay. You can say you are studying English. That sounds much better.
So today, the big question is, who actually does the dishes? Who takes out the trash? Who cleans the bathroom? In so many homes, people argue about this stuff. Couples argue. Roommates argue. Families argue. And it can feel really small, but also really serious.
Yeah, I remember living with a roommate once, and we had this really awkward moment. The sink was full of dirty plates for days, and we were both kind of waiting to see who would say something first. It was not fun.
Right. And doing that in your own language is already hard. Doing it in English can feel almost impossible. You do not want to sound angry. You do not want to sound rude. But you also do not want to do everything by yourself.
And if you are learning English, you might only know the very simple phrases, like, you never clean, or I am tired. So today we want to give you more natural options, more real-life language.
We also have a little listening challenge for you. So, during this episode, you will hear a useful expression. The phrase is, pull your weight, pull your weight, pull your weight. I am not going to explain it yet. I just want you to listen and try to guess the meaning from the situation.
Yeah, treat it like a small game. When you hear pull your weight, pause for a second in your mind. Ask yourself, okay, what does that sound like? Is it positive? Negative? About work? About fairness?
By the way, this idea of fairness is really important today. One word we will use a lot is chores. Chores are the regular jobs you do at home. Things like doing the dishes, taking out the trash, vacuuming the floor. They are not fun. They are just necessary.
Exactly. So if you say, I have so many chores this weekend, you mean I have a lot of housework to do. Cleaning, laundry, shopping for groceries, all of that.
Another word you will hear is responsibilities. Responsibility is something you are supposed to do. So, at home, cooking can be your responsibility, or walking the dog can be your responsibility. It is your job. People expect you to do it.
For example, you can say, taking out the trash is my roommate's responsibility, or cleaning the bathroom is our shared responsibility. We both do it.
So, in this episode, you will hear natural speed conversation about chores. We are going to talk about who usually does what, how to share responsibilities, and how to talk about it without sounding like you are starting a fight.
And we will not just list words, we will show you. You will hear realistic examples, some moments where the conversation is a bit uncomfortable, some funny little fails, because real home English is not perfect. And that is what you want to copy.
So the plan is, first, we will talk about typical chores and who usually does them. Then, we will explore some key vocabulary and natural expressions. And later, we will practice how to negotiate, how to say things like, hey, I feel like I am doing more. Can we talk about it? In a calm way.
And remember, our goal is not to help you win an argument. It is to help you sound fair and clear, so you can share the work at home. So everyone feels like, okay, this is balanced. This is respectful.
Although, if by the end of the episode you can win the who does the dishes negotiation in English, I will not complain. That is a nice bonus.
We can say it like this. You are not trying to win. You are trying to share. To make a small team at home. That is the real goal.
All right. Before we talk about how to negotiate, let us first talk about the chores themselves. What do we even call these things in English?
Yeah, let us start simple. We will describe a normal week at home and the different tasks people usually do.
So, Sarah, if we look at a typical home, what are the most common household chores people talk about? Okay, so, Sarah, let's paint a picture of like a normal week at home. Just everyday housework, everyday chores. What are the common things people do around the house?
Yeah, sure. So when we talk about housework, we often say do the chores or do housework. And then we have lots of small actions. For example, do the dishes. That means wash the plates, the cups, the glasses after you eat.
Right, so you say, I do the dishes after dinner, not I do the plates.
Exactly. We say, do the dishes. You can also say, wash the dishes, and that's okay. But do the dishes is super common. For example, I usually do the dishes after dinner, and my partner dries them.
Nice. What about the trash? The garbage? That stuff.
Yeah, so we usually say, take out the trash. In British English, people often say, take out the rubbish. Same idea. You carry the bag outside to the bin or the container. For example, he takes out the trash on Monday nights.
So, trash and rubbish are the same thing, just different words, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Trash or garbage is more American. Rubbish is more British. But the verb is the same. Take out the trash or take out the rubbish.
Okay, what about cleaning the floor? There are a few words there, I think.
Yeah, there are a few. So, if you use a machine, we say, vacuum the floor. In a lot of British homes, people also say, hoover the floor, because Hoover is a brand name. Same action, though. For example, I vacuum the living room on Saturdays.
So, vacuum is kind of the neutral word, and hoover is more British, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. If you say vacuum, everyone understands. If you say hoover, that sounds more British. And if you clean the floor with a broom, we say sweep the floor. If you use water, we say mop the floor.
Got it. So you might say, I sweep the floor every day and I mop it once a week.
Yeah, that sounds really natural. And in the kitchen, people also say, wipe the counters. That means you use a cloth and you clean the surface where you cook. For example, after I cook, I always wipe the counters.
Nice. What about the bathroom? That's usually everyone's least favorite.
Yeah, the bathroom is not fun. We say, clean the bathroom as a general thing. Inside that, we often say, scrub the toilet. Scrub means clean really hard, usually with a brush. So, someone might say, I hate scrubbing the toilet, but I do it once a week.
Okay, so clean the bathroom. And inside that you can say, scrub the toilet, clean the sink, clean the shower, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Those are all small parts of cleaning the bathroom.
Let's talk about clothes. This one confuses a lot of people. Can I say, I clean the clothes?
So, we don't really say clean the clothes. We usually say do the laundry. That's the most natural phrase. You can also say wash the clothes, and that's okay. But do the laundry is what people say a lot. For example, I do the laundry on Sunday mornings.
Ah, okay. So, do the laundry is the key one. And then there are small steps after that, right?
Yeah. After you wash the clothes, you might hang up the clothes if you use a line or a rack. Or you put them in the dryer. Then you fold the clothes, and sometimes you iron shirts if you need them to look really neat.
So you could say, she does the laundry and I fold the clothes. Or, I never iron shirts. I just wear them a bit wrinkled.
Yeah, those both sound great. That's exactly how people talk about it.
Cool. How about the bedroom things? Like the bed, the sheets.
Yeah, so every morning you can say, make the bed. That means you put the blanket and the pillows in a nice way. Then, maybe every week or every 2 weeks, you change the sheets. That means you take off the old sheets and put on clean ones.
So, I could say, I usually make the bed, but my partner changes the sheets because I always forget.
Yes, perfect. That sounds very natural and also very real.
Let's add cooking and food stuff. What are the key phrases there?
So the basic one is cook or do the cooking. For example, on weekdays, I do most of the cooking. Before that, someone has to do the grocery shopping. That means buying food at the supermarket. So you can say, she does the grocery shopping on Saturdays.
Right, so it's do the grocery shopping, not just do the groceries.
Yeah, we usually say do the grocery shopping or just go grocery shopping. Both are fine.
And then we also have like pets and plants, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you have a dog, you probably say walk the dog. For example, he walks the dog every morning before work. And for plants, we say water the plants. So, my roommate waters the plants twice a week.
Okay, so we have a lot of chores now. Let's move from single words to like who does what. Imagine a couple or two roommates. How can we describe how they split the chores?
Yeah, so we often use simple routine sentences. For example, I usually cook and my partner does the dishes. Or, she takes care of the laundry and I handle the shopping. Those are really common patterns.
Nice. So you were kind of trading jobs. I'll do this, you do that.
Yeah, exactly. You can also say things like, on weekdays, I do most of the cooking. My roommate is in charge of taking out the trash. And we share the cleaning on weekends.
I like that phrase, in charge of. So my roommate is in charge of taking out the trash. It sounds like a clear responsibility.
Yeah, it means it's their job. Another way is, she takes care of the bathroom, I take care of the kitchen. Or, I usually vacuum, and he cleans the bathroom.
Okay, I want to add our listening challenge phrase here. If you live with someone, it's important that everyone pulls their weight. Listeners, just notice the sound of that. Pulls their weight.
Yeah, and you will hear that again later. For now, just listen. In my house, we all try to pull our weight, so one person does to do everything.
Okay, quick story. One time I tried to talk about chores in English, and I said something like, I clean the house and my girlfriend helps me. And her face was not happy.
Yeah, I can imagine. That sounds like you're the boss, and she's just your assistant. Even if you don't mean it like that, it can sound a bit rude.
So how could I say it in a more balanced way?
You could say, we usually clean the house together. I vacuum, and she does the bathroom. Or, we share the housework. I do the laundry, and she does the cooking. That sounds more fair.
Yeah, that feels much better. Okay, let me try a quick summary, and you can check it. So, on weekdays, I do most of the cooking, and my partner does the dishes. She takes out the trash, and I do the laundry. On weekends, we share the cleaning. I vacuum, and she cleans the bathroom.
That all sounds really natural. You were using the right verbs and collocations. Do the dishes, take out the trash, do the laundry, share the cleaning, vacuum, clean the bathroom. Perfect.
So now we have lots of words for chores and some ways to say who does them. But how do we talk about whether it's fair? Remember that phrase, pull your weight. In the next part, I want you to explain what that really means when we talk about sharing responsibilities.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about how to say it when you feel like you were doing too much, or when you want to share chores more equally.
If you live with someone, it is important that everyone pulls their weight. Yeah, pulls their weight. Sarah, can you explain that one more time in a simple way?
Sure. So, to pull your weight just means do your fair share of the work. Not more, not less. Just your part.
Right. So if I say, I wish my brother would pull his weight, that means I feel like I am doing everything and he is not helping enough.
Exactly. Or you could say, we both work full-time, so we try to pull our weight at home too. That means you both try to help with the housework. It sounds very natural, not formal.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, the hard part. How do I say, I feel like I am doing more than the other person, but I do not want to start a fight?
Yeah, this is really common. One gentle way is, I feel like I am doing most of the cooking, or I feel like I am doing most of the cleaning. You are talking about your feeling, not attacking the other person.
So, I feel like I am doing most of the laundry is softer than saying you never help with the laundry.
Exactly. Another phrase is, sometimes I get the impression that I am doing more than you. It sounds careful, not angry. You are not saying you are lazy. You are saying, this is how it looks to me.
And what about talking about fairness, like when it does not feel equal?
You can say, it does not really feel balanced right now. Balanced is a nice word here. It means it does not feel equal. And then you can add, can we try to make things a bit more fair? That is a really useful sentence. You are asking, not ordering.
So, that is much better than you never help, because you never help sounds like an attack.
Yes, when you say you never help or you always do this, the other person usually feels attacked, and then they defend themselves. So, the conversation becomes a fight, not a problem-solving talk.
Okay, let me try a really bad robot sentence, something from a textbook. I would like to discuss the distribution of domestic duties.
That sounds like you are a lawyer or a robot. It is correct, but no one talks like that at home.
So what is a natural version of that idea?
You could say, can we talk about how we share the chores? Or, can we talk about how we divide the housework? Same meaning, but it sounds friendly like normal conversation.
Let me repeat those. Can we talk about how we share the chores? And can we talk about how we divide the housework? Yeah, those sound much softer and less dramatic.
Exactly. And notice you use chores or housework here. We usually do not say house chores. Just say chores or housework or household chores.
Ah, good point. So, chores or housework, not house chores. Got it. Another question, is it okay to say, you should help more?
It is okay, but it is a bit direct. You should help more can feel like a command. A softer version is, could you help a bit more? Or, I would really appreciate a bit more help with the dishes. Same idea, but more polite.
Nice. Now, you also wanted to bring in some feeling phrases, right? To explain how tired you are or how stressed you feel.
Yes. One very useful phrase is, I am a bit overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means there is too much. You cannot handle everything. For example, I am a bit overwhelmed with work and housework right now. It helps the other person understand your situation.
So that is softer than just saying, I cannot do this anymore.
Right. Another simple one is, I am exhausted after work. Exhausted just means very, very tired. You could say, I am exhausted after work, so it is really hard for me to cook every night.
And then you can add what you do not mind and what you hate, right?
Exactly. For example, I do not mind doing the dishes, but I really hate cleaning the bathroom. Or, I actually enjoy cooking, but I would like some help with the laundry. This kind of small emotional information makes it easier to share chores in a fair way.
I like that. You are not just saying, you do this, I do that. You are saying, this is hard for me, this is okay for me, this is okay for me.
Yes, exactly. And that usually feels less like a fight and more like a team discussion.
Now, I have a little fail story. Once I said to a roommate, you are lazy, you never do anything. And yeah, that did not go well.
Yeah, that is a classic problem. When you say, you are lazy, you are using you or plus a negative adjective. That attacks their character, not their behavior. People get very defensive when they hear that.
So, how could I say the same problem, but in a better way?
You can focus on the situation and on your feeling. For example, the kitchen has been really messy lately, and I feel like I am cleaning it alone. Or, I have been doing the dishes almost every night. Could you help a bit more? These sentences are still honest, but they are not personal attacks.
Yeah, I can really hear the difference in tone. One sounds like, you are the problem. The other sounds like, this situation is the problem, and we can fix it together.
Exactly. That small change can really change the whole conversation.
So now we know the key phrases to talk about fairness and responsibilities. But how does this sound in a real conversation, with real emotions, and maybe some awkward moments?
In the next part, let us do a mini role play, a little scene of two people negotiating chores. We can show a not-so-good version, and then a better version, and then break down the language so you can copy it at home.
Okay, now we are going to do some real talk, a little role play. Not perfect Instagram life, more like real kitchen life.
Yeah. Imagine two roommates or a couple. End of the day. Someone is tired. Someone is a bit defensive.
I will be the person who feels overloaded. Too many chores. And Sarah will be the other person. We will do it first in a not very healthy way. So, just listen this first time.
Right. This first version is kind of what we all do when we are tired and annoyed. So do not copy this one. Just notice it.
Okay, here we go. Real speed. Real emotion. Hey, you never clean up after yourself. I am always doing the dishes and taking out the trash. It is really unfair.
That is not true. I clean sometimes. You just do not see it. And I cook a lot. You complain all the time.
You can probably feel the tension there.
Yeah. The big problem is the words never and always. They sound like an attack. So the other person wants to defend, not to help.
So now we fix it. We are going to keep almost the same idea, but change the language. Softer, more helpful. Listen again. Hey, I feel like I am doing most of the cleaning. Could we try to make it more balanced?
That sounds very different already. You are talking about how you feel, not telling me what I never do. And balanced just means more fair, more equal.
Yeah. Balanced is a nice word for chores, not perfect. Just shared in a fair way. Okay, let me do that line one more time. You can repeat after me. I feel like I am doing most of the cleaning. Pause here and say it out loud.
And now the second part. Could we try to make it more balanced? You can copy me. Ready? Could we try to make it more balanced? And pause and say it.
Nice. Now we add a concrete plan, a clear idea. Listen, I do not mind doing the cooking, but could you take care of the trash and the dishes?
This pattern is super useful. I do not mind X, but could you Y? So you say what you are okay with and what you want the other person to do.
Let us practice that one together. I do not mind doing the cooking. Pause, say it. Now the second half. But could you take care of the trash and the dishes? Pause, say it in your room or in your head.
Take care of is another nice soft phrase. It just means do it. But it sounds kinder than do the trash or do the dishes.
Okay, now let us imagine your roommate never takes out the trash. You want to say it, but not start a fight. Try this with me. Hey, I feel like I am always taking out the trash. Could you help a bit more? Listen once, then repeat. Hey, I feel like I am always taking out the trash. Could you help a bit more? Pause, your turn.
And maybe they say yes, but they need something clear. So you can add this. Would you mind taking it out on Tuesdays and Thursdays? One more time, slowly. Would you mind taking it out on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Go ahead. Pause and copy.
Good. Now, let us practice a mini deal, a compromise. Listen, I really do not like doing the dishes. Okay, I can do the dishes if you handle the laundry.
That little pattern, I can, is gold. It is like, if you do this job, I will do that job. A simple trade.
Let us turn it into practice. First sentence. I really do not like doing the dishes. Pause. Say it. Now, answer as the roommate. Okay, I can do the dishes if you handle the laundry. Pause and say that whole thing.
Handle here just means take care of. So if you handle the laundry, if you are responsible for the laundry.
Let us try another trade. I do not mind vacuuming, but I really hate cleaning the bathroom. How about I do the vacuuming and you do the bathroom? Listen again. I do not mind vacuuming, but I really hate cleaning the bathroom. How about I do the vacuuming and you do the bathroom? Pause and try to repeat the second sentence.
How about I do X and you do Y? This is a very friendly way to offer a plan. It feels like a suggestion, not an order.
Okay, now for a little fun. I will do the robot version, the too formal version. Dear roommate, I wish to request more support with the sanitation of the restroom.
Wow, that sounds like a letter to a hotel, not to your roommate. Sanitation just means cleaning, but it is way too formal for home.
Let us fix it. Real home English. Hey, could you help clean the bathroom this weekend? Again. Hey, Could you help clean the bathroom this weekend? Pause. Your turn.
You can hear the difference. Short, simple, still polite. Could you help clean the bathroom this weekend? That is enough.
Last little practice. I will give you a situation. You choose a soft sentence. You hate doing laundry, but you do not mind cooking. Say something like, I do not mind cooking, but could you handle the laundry? Listen once more. I do not mind cooking, but could you handle the laundry? Pause and try it. Maybe change the chore to your real life.
And remember, you can mix these patterns. I feel like I am doing most of X. Could we make it more balanced? How about I do this and you do that? They all fit together.
We have practiced some realistic conversations now, but every home is different. You might live with parents, kids, roommates, or a partner. So in the next part, we will help you personalize this language for your own situation and plan your own chore conversation in English.
Yeah, let us help you prepare sentences you can actually use tonight with your real chores and your real family or roommates.
So, in this part, I want to make it very personal for you. Not about my home, not about Sarah's home, about your home, your real life.
Yeah, this is like a tiny workshop, just you and us thinking together. So if you can, try to really picture your home now.
Okay, so first, imagine where you live. Who is there with you? Do you live with your parents? With a partner? With kids? Or with roommates?
And if you live alone, that is also fine. Then it is still useful, because maybe you want to talk about chores with a friend or a future roommate.
Now, if you can pause the episode, do it in a second. I want you to quickly list maybe 3 to 5 chores you do every week. In your language or in English, that is okay.
Right. You could think doing the dishes, cooking, laundry, taking out the trash, vacuuming, cleaning the bathroom, things like that.
So if you can pause now, and come back when you have a small list in your mind or on paper.
Okay. And if you cannot pause, no problem. You can just think softly in your head while you listen. It still helps.
Now, we are going to build some sentences that you can really use. Not perfect textbook sentences, just clear, friendly English that works.
We will use a simple structure. 3 steps. 1. Say who does what now. 2. Say how you feel about it. 3. Say what change you want.
So, listen to this model. For example, I could say, right now I do the cooking and the laundry. I feel a bit tired and stressed. I would like to share the cooking with my partner.
Nice. So let us break that into useful little pieces that you can copy. The first one is, right now I. For example, right now I do the dishes every night.
The second part is, I feel, and then one simple feeling. For example, I feel a bit tired. Or, I feel a bit tired. Or, I feel okay about it. Or, I feel stressed.
And the third part is, I would like to, plus the change. For example, I would like to share the dishes. Or, I would like to help more with cleaning.
Let us try some different living situations now. So, picture this. You live with your parents. You could say, right now, my mom does most of the cooking. I feel a bit guilty. I would like to help more with dinner.
Or, if you share an apartment with a roommate, maybe, right now, I clean the bathroom and take out the trash. I feel a bit annoyed. I would like to share the bathroom cleaning.
If you live with a partner, you might say, right now, I do the laundry and most of the cleaning. I feel overwhelmed. I would like to divide the chores more fairly.
So, can you make your own version now? Use those 3 parts. Right now, I, then I feel, then I feel, and then I would like to.
If you can, pause again and actually say it out loud. Even whisper. It really helps your mouth learn the pattern.
Okay, now let us go a bit deeper. I want you to choose one chore that really bothers you. The one that makes you think, not again.
We are going to use one more very useful sentence. It is, I do not mind doing X, but I am really tired of doing Y. This is great because it sounds balanced, not angry, just honest.
Yeah, it shows you are not lazy, you know? You are okay with some things, but one thing is too much. So for example, I do not mind cooking, but I am really tired of doing the dishes.
So choose your X and your Y now. Maybe, I do not mind vacuuming, but I am really tired of cleaning the bathroom. Or, I do not mind laundry, but I am really tired of taking out the trash every day.
I will give you a short pause here. Just a moment to build your own sentence in your head. I do not mind doing, but I am really tired of doing.
Okay, now, how do we turn that feeling into a polite request? We can add a question. Something like, could you? Or, would you mind?
So one complete example would be, I do not mind cooking, but I am really tired of doing the dishes. Could you take care of the dishes after dinner?
Or, I do not mind doing the laundry, but I am really tired of taking out the trash. Would you mind taking the trash out in the evenings?
Now, very quickly, I want to give you one new expression. It is, take care of something. This means to be responsible for it, to do it regularly.
Yeah. For example, I take care of the laundry means I am the person who usually does the laundry. Or, can you take care of the dishes tonight?
So now, can you mix these together for your life? For example, I do not mind vacuuming, but I am really tired of the dishes. Could you take care of the dishes on weekdays?
I also want to say, every family, every culture, every home can be very different. In some homes, one person does almost all the housework. In others, parents might expect children to help in special ways.
Yeah, and that is okay. We are not judging that. We are just giving you language you can use inside your situation. For example, you can say, I would like to help more with the cooking. Or, can we change how we share the chores?
Now, let us build 2 or 3 ready sentences that you can really use at home. Here is one pattern. On weekdays, I usually, but on weekends, I would like to.
For example, on weekdays, I usually cook dinner, but on weekends, I would like to share the cooking. Or, on weekdays, I usually do the dishes, but on weekends, I would like to rest after dinner.
Another useful pattern is, could we try this? I do X, and you do Y. So you are offering a clear plan, but you are still asking. It sounds cooperative.
So you might say, could we try this? I cook, and you take care of the dishes? Or, could we try this? I do the laundry, and you clean the bathroom?
If you can, choose 2 or 3 of these sentence patterns now and change them so they are really true for your home. Imagine talking to your partner, your mom, your roommate.
You can write them down or just say them out loud 2 times. For example, repeat, could we try this? I do the laundry, and you take care of the trash? Say it once, and then again, a bit more confidently.
Before we finish this part, I want to share a quick little mistake story from a learner. One student told their host family, "You must do more chores."
Yeah, and the family felt a bit shocked. It sounded like an order, very strong. But with just a small change, you can make it soft and polite.
For example, instead of, "You must do more chores," you could say, "It would be great if we could share the chores a bit more."
Or, could we talk about how we share the chores? Same idea, totally different feeling. Much kinder, much easier to accept.
So now, you have your own personal sentences and some gentle ways to ask for change. This is your little toolbox for real conversations at home.
In the next part, we are going to do a quick review of the most important words and phrases from today and give you a tiny homework challenge.
Yeah, the idea is, when you are actually standing in the kitchen with a pile of dirty dishes, the phrases are already in your mouth. So, let us move on to that fast recap. So, we are almost at the end of this episode of the Natural English podcast. Take a small breath with us for a second. Yeah, just notice how much language you heard today.
Right. If you think back, you can now talk about a lot of everyday chores. You can say who usually does what. And you can also start a fair conversation when things do not feel balanced at home.
We went from simple stuff like names of chores to more sensitive things, like how to say, "Hey, this does not feel fair," but in a calm, respectful way, not in an angry way.
Let me just review a few key phrases for you. Slowly. You can even repeat them after me if you want. So, number 1, do the dishes. For example, I usually do the dishes after dinner.
Yeah. Or, he never wants to do the dishes when he is tired. That kind of thing.
Next one, take out the trash. Listen, I can say, could you take out the trash tonight? Or, I always take out the trash on Mondays. Nice and simple.
Then we had, do the laundry. You remember, like, I do the laundry on the weekend, or he never does the laundry so his clothes just stay on the floor.
Another one was, vacuum the floor. For example, I hate vacuuming the floor. It is so noisy. Or, can you vacuum the floor before our guests arrive?
And then there was that expression from our listening challenge, pull your weight. Remember, this means do your fair share of the work. Do what is your responsibility.
Yes. So you could say, I really appreciate it when everyone pulls their weight at home. Or, more carefully, I feel like you are not really pulling your weight with the housework lately. Very soft, but very clear.
We also use that very useful sentence frame. I feel like I am doing most of, and then the chore. For example, I feel like I am doing most of the cleaning during the week.
Right? And then, instead of saying you never help, you can add, could we make it a bit more balanced? So you put the problem on the situation, not on the person. For example, could we make it a bit more balanced with the cooking and cleaning?
Okay, now I want you to reflect for a moment. Think back over the episode. What is one thing you learned that surprised you a little?
Maybe it was not saying you are lazy, and instead using something softer, like, I feel like I am doing most of the dishes. That small change can really help avoid a fight.
So, here's a question for you. You can answer in your head or out loud if you want. What is one sentence from today that you really want to remember?
Just notice what comes to your mind first. Maybe it is, can we talk about how we share the chores? Maybe it is, could we make it a bit more balanced? Whatever it is, that is your sentence.
And after this episode ends, try repeating that sentence a few times, quietly, or even out loud if you can. Make it your go-to phrase, the one you use when you need it.
Now, your small chore challenge. Very simple. If you live with someone who speaks English, try to have a short, real conversation about chores with them. Even 2 or 3 minutes is enough.
You can use lines like, can we talk about how we share the chores? Or, I feel like I am doing most of the laundry. Could we make it a bit more balanced? Just try 1 or 2 of those in a real moment.
If that is not possible, no problem at all. You can imagine the conversation. Maybe record yourself on your phone, talking for 1 or 2 minutes. Use the phrases from this episode. Listen back once and notice how you sound.
And if you really cannot record, you can still practice. Just plan the conversation silently in your head while you are doing the dishes, or folding laundry, or taking out the trash. That still trains your English.
Before we say goodbye, let us come back one more time to that phrase, pull your weight, so you really feel it, not just understand it with your head.
Yeah, so, again, pull your weight means do your part. Do the amount of work that is fair. For example, everyone in this house needs to pull their weight with the cleaning. Or, since he started pulling his weight, things feel much easier at home.
As you watch TV shows or movies in English, or listen to real conversations, start to notice this phrase. And also notice all the chore words. Do the dishes, take out the trash, do the laundry, vacuum the floor.
We are going to close here. Thank you for spending this time with us, and for working on a topic that can be a little uncomfortable but very important in real life. This was the Natural English Podcast, and we hope you feel a bit more ready to talk about real home English at B2 level.
Good luck with your next chore conversation, in English or in your own language. Take your time, stay kind, and use those soft phrases. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.